Well, this is my current touring setup.
It is subpar.
It is. This episode, we're getting stuck into the touring setup on my 300 series Land Cruiser.
Inductions, inverters, lithium, there's all these stuff going on.
We're going to show you the products we're using to do this.
Okay, coming in for the win.
And what we believe is the best way to do so.
What you're about to see might not be exactly legal.
Prepare to witness two of the most qualified blokes on YouTube convert this Land Cruiser from a simple grocery hauler into the ultimate long-range touring machine.
Bloody Merry Christmas, mate, look! Biggest present known to man.
There's no card on it. Who could it be from? No, I know who it's from. It's from Splinter. The boys over in WA have shipped me. The boys and girls, sorry. Have shipped me. This has got to be one of the biggest Christmas presents I've ever opened.
It's a bloody big present you got there, mate.
This is the biggest present I've ever opened, I reckon. Yes, a big box.
It's a big box.
Big timber box.
Holy.
Yeah. All right, end of video. I've got a big box. What do you reckon? There's something in it?
I reckon there could be. Got a piece of foam. Yeah!
So the team have sent me a setup for the back of the Land Cruiser. Exactly what I was looking at before I'd even bought the car. This is my current touring setup. So, I don't know about you guys, but what do you think, Mac? Is it good at all?
It is subpar.
It is. This episode, we are throwing in a drawer and 12-volt system to go in this space. I've chosen the type that requires me to take out the rear seats. So this is a 7-seater, but we're going to use this cavity for the 12-volt. And the aim of that is so that I can maintain as much usable area in the back of my wagon as possible. Today, we're going to get stuck into that. The first port of call is to remove this seat somehow. I have no idea how to do that. But
Get out, we're about to find out. We don't know what's behind here, but they're just a big puzzle piece, so we'll just start pulling things. But cars are not that hard, guys. But there's one thing to remember is you will need to get it mod plated back to a 5-seater car. It costs about $300 or $400. It's not that dear, and it's not hard to do because you're only removing things.
So if you're getting a drawer set up and you're leaving the seats in and you've just have them folded, don't need to do anything because the seats are still in the car. Mac has learnt this the hard way though. Removing seats on your registration, it needs to change from 7-seater to 5-seater.
Correct.
I don't know, obviously it makes absolutely no difference in the long run, but...
And that requires a mod plate to say it's been removed correctly.
Where's that from?
Oh, it's just a magnet.
It's an attractive tool, isn't it?
Okay, now the crucial step when you get this part out is you have to put it on top of your 1969 K truck.
Yeah.
If you don't have a 1969 K truck, you should probably buy one, and it's a great reason for you to get one across the line with the missus. Another main tool you have to have when doing this job, and if you don't have one, you're just gonna have to let the missus know. You need a 7x10 shed with aircon. If you live in Queensland, you need 2 aircons.
Yeah.
You're not watching instructions, are you?
No.
I've been one step ahead of his instructions the whole time. I reckon he just pops this off to it. So you don't need instructions.
Except for just the very start when we couldn't figure out.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
It's the power of YouTube, guys. We actually didn't know how to do this, so we're watching instructions, but we'll show you.
He did.
Yeah. Uncle Macca has a bit of information about engineering because he loves engineering cars.
Well, I like to make sure everyone can do things like our laws suck, basically. Like, this is ridiculous, you just pull on a seat out, you shouldn't need to do anything, but you do. I was just chatting to my good mate Shane down at ProCheck Automotive. A mod plate for removing seats is $350. He said you can do it yourself. They just inspect everything, so you have to remove the seat belts.
You can't have a seatbelt hanging down for no reason.
Can't, because someone could still sit there and try to put a seatbelt on, apparently. Don't know who would sit on drawers and try and click this into nothing that doesn't exist anymore, but anyway, that's the law. Little tip Jamin said, back from his trimming days. is tape or cable tie this to the other one.
Before you let it completely retract.
Yes.
Otherwise the stopper
it'll jam up.
Will not allow you to pull down.
Because you need to pull down to let up. So, and as soon as these seatbelts go on a slightly different angle, they stop and jam. So cable tie this to the other one or tape it to the other one before you remove it out of the car. And the other thing he said is all the bolts that came out of, say, the floor or the chassis of the car have to go back in. So that's to seal the cabin.
That's all this stuff that we've got.
Yeah, so all these main bolts and things have to go back in.
The seats have airbags in them, which these rear ones do not. If they have airbags in them, it will throw a code once you disconnect it. These are only a seatbelt sensor. It knows if someone's sitting in the seat. So it's fine to disconnect, nothing will happen.
No, she's all gravy. So there's a few tips now. I don't know what other states are like. I'd imagine it's very similar. A lot of like local mechanics and stuff can do mod plating and things like that.
For this type of engineering's very straightforward.
It's very basic mod plating. It doesn't need a full engineer's report and all that sort of stuff to back it up.
Yeah, if anyone's wondering, the type of engineering that needs is very different and a lot more work, a lot more money, a lot more time.
Yeah, and
this is basic.
It's very basic. Yeah, just a bit of a reminder. Don't want anyone feeding the bloody police Christmas fund any more money than they already get fed, because
they've had a great Christmas, I've heard.
I reckon they've had a great Christmas, and I can't stand our Australian laws for vehicle modification. Look, I think there needs to be laws. They just need to be a little more relaxed, because it is just it's getting worse and worse. Don't forget the K-Truck, 1969 K-Truck that you had also needs 37s so that the seat can lean up against the tyre perfectly. Any smaller and it won't work. What I've realised is you can just literally pop this panel forward, and then it's just 1, 2, 3 bolts.
Just got to stop it retracting all the way, we're told. Yeah, you won't have any dramas if you ever need to reuse this.
As soon as it's on not the correct angle, so if you like this, it's not gonna let it out. Whereas if you find the angle, there it goes. There's a little ball bearing drops in.
Yeah, better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah, I've definitely seen people doing this before.
Mac just actually was wondering what this is, and I saw this on the forum the other day. This is the proximity key sensor. We are gonna put 12 volt in here. A bit worried it may either prevent it from working or crush the cable.
Oh yeah, we just don't want to move it, but right now.
But also, I'll keep you guys posted, because there's going to be batteries, 12 volt, false floor, drawers, all sorts of stuff on top of that proximity sensor. So the idea is that when you walk near your car, you just touch your door handle and it unlocks the vehicle. And I've got a feeling it works. That's the one for the back 2 doors and the boot doors. So hopefully it still all works. I'm sure it will. But
I mean, it worked with all that metal framing and seats over it, so
it should work.
A bit of timber should still work, but we'll see. We'll find out. At the moment, we're just going to leave it in there for now until we do the 12 volts, because our good friend Splinter 4x4. So part of the kit is this false floor. So this is all pre-built, all pre-drilled to pick up factory holes, and we've opted for the cutout for the 300 amp hour battery. So
from Enerdrive.
So they're quite fluent with all the 12 volt systems. So they adapt all their drawers to whatever you're wanting to use. So, oh, look at that.
Oh, it's like Ethan already knew this.
Who would have thought? It's like he's put them in before or something. Induction cooktop. Makes it to suit 2 different cooktops. Passenger side front wing, back wing top. There's one with a cutout for your GPO ready to go in. All accessories plate, Splinter 4x4.
Really cool. The boys have thought about everything. If you get one of these shipped out to you, it is ready to install. Absolutely everything you need to put it in and finish the job. It's good news, because there's nothing worse than that happening and you're like, oh, I need to go to the shops and get a longer bolt.
Floor bracket fixing in here.
Looks to me like these are adjustable sort of battery mounts. Depending on what kind of 12 volt you're going to drop into it, I guess you can increase or decrease the size of the cavity.
But I think it's going to be easier to pull this back out, mount the battery, put it all back in. Inductions, inverters, lithium, there's all these stuff going on. You can do any 12 volt from wild to mild, mild to wild. Your budget, what you're doing with it,
If you're going to be cooking on gas, 100 amp hours is sweet.
Jeez, I ran 60 for so long in the cruiser.
100 amp hours is heaps if you're going to, but if you're running induction, we're going to be running Starlink. It sucks heaps of power too.
Nah, it doesn't.
Doesn't, you reckon?
Nah, it doesn't use much.
Hooley reckons he's absolutely annihilating.
He had the old one. Starlink Mini's pretty good.
Okay, well anyway, if you're going after a bit more of a budget-friendly setup, 100 amp hours is going to be pretty good, I reckon, but this is going to suck some power with the induction.
Look, if you can fit it, just do it. Oh, this one's 530 by 600 by 83. You might actually be going 200 amp hour. It'll fit heaps nicer. Because the other one was... Alright, so I'm just measuring up. I was trying to see if we could fit a 300 amp hour, and it doesn't look like we got the depth. So we're going at 200 amp hour Enerdrive Slim. Now they can be mounted flat or stand up, just not upside down. It's going to work sweet for here. We got these adjustable sides, which will screw down and screw in for our battery. And 200 amp hours, that's going to be sweet.
Yeah.
I don't think you need any more than that anyway, really.
Because it's running induction, 100 amp hours normally is a lot of power. However, dual induction plates, you're going to want about 200 amp hours. In my experience, Jamin had two on his and he had about 240 amp hour and it was running it nicely, but 100 would suck the power. I'm also going to be running a lot of other things like lighting, Starlink,
Charging cameras. Tent.
The tent's going to be all powered.
And you got solar. It all comes down to how long you're stationary, I
Yeah,
reckon.
the solar, yeah. So anyway, for me, 200 is going to be really good. 300 would have been amazing, although that's extremely expensive. I mean, if I could fit it, I probably would run it, but I can't fit it, so I'm doing 200.
200's plenty.
My
like
Navara.
your Navara was 100?
It was 100 and I never had a drama.
You never ran induction cooking?
No, I had gas.
However, our trips were a little different to maybe a lot of you guys that probably park up for like a week at a time, you know, and just hang out with the family and really get to enjoy the time you're away. Like, don't get me wrong, we enjoy the times we go away and the trips, but it's very action-packed. It's very fast. We're moving every day. We're trying to fit large amounts of things into small amounts of time, and we in particular like Enerdrive because our good mate Jared from Roam Gear sells it. He's an avid believer. Jamin had it in his troopy. It was really good. Yeah. It's a bit cheaper and it works really well. So, but there's plenty of brands out there, guys. So just pick whatever you like, really.
You're not a 12 volt smell, mate.
No. I just want to keep my beers cold. There you go.
Actually a bit easier, doesn't it,
A bit
mate?
easier.
We were struggling trying to get up.
It's actually just a frame that you can bolt down.
Yeah. Who would have thought, eh? Now it's fixed into the factory holes there.
Factory holes there, and then you've got all your factory bolts back in to seal the cab.
So then when we put the battery in, we adjust these.
Alrighty guys, we are back in the shed. So anyway, TJ's been shopping. We've got the drawers in from Splinter, 4x4 going in. Then we've got this over here. Let me just go grab it.
Yeah.
This big long box could only be one thing. Do you want to guess? This is a roof rack from Meredith Metal. TJ's sort of had a bit of like a strict criteria of what roof rack he wanted because he wants it so close to the roof that he doesn't care if it even rubs on the roof. So this is the lowest profile roof rack that I know of on the market. TJ's editing at the moment, so I said, look, I'll task myself with this mission alone. Now there's one little issue that I already know I'm gonna run into, and that is that TJ has removed the roof rail once before because we were looking at creating our own custom rail setup to suit the Outback Tourer. And when this one popped up, we decided there's no point, it's gonna take too long. When he undid the bolts, the nuts have dropped into the roof. So the captive nuts are no longer there anymore. First things first for me, I'm just gonna go and drop this roof lining and be done with it. It's gonna be a pain in the ass, but these are things we have to do when we're custom modifying cars. Now this was all TJ, this one. So let's see if he's made the right choice here. This could be easy, this could be hard. Oh, you're kidding. Oh, Casey, you cheeky bugger. Look at all these lollipops. Zalia's gonna eat all these, you watch. That looks like some kind of wind deflector as well. And side rails. This is actually looking pretty good so far. Cool. That's the sides. Okay, now that's unpacked, I am going to get to work on getting the roof lining out. Now it's not a really difficult job. It's just a little bit of a pain in the ass. So I'm going to have to start by disconnecting all the vents, all the hand hooey-dooies, you know, the Jesus bars, whatever you want to call them. And also the center console, the center lights through the middle. So most of it unclips and unbolts or unscrews. I'm going to pull the rack off first and just find out if that is true before I go pulling the roof lining down. I mean, it probably is true. They put it back on, so I'm sure he knows. But just in case I can save myself a heap of work. There's 4 clips here that you sort of got to pry up. The front one, so if you've got some plastic little pry tools, is the way to do it. 4 clips, 2 each side, and pulls that way. So I think that was right. Damn it. I was really hoping they were just going to be there and it was just a trick to it or something, but nah, one of these bolts isn't even in. This one is spinning. And I don't want to keep that spinning because there is a curtain airbag under there. So if there is like a thread plate, I don't want to catch it and rip an airbag or something. This cover just peeled out that way. And as you guys saw, those ones come off. So these handles up here, they actually have like 2 tabs that you just push in and which is actually in the roof, and it clips out. Very hard to get out without damaging the edges, that's for sure, but it is doable. But yeah, the light was actually easy in the middle. You just clip the plastic off with a flathead.
Now, if you manage to take off the factory rails without losing any threads into the roof lining, it's actually a pretty easy job to get this rack on. And I thought I'd get a few shots of it on the vehicle before we put the tent on so you can see what it looks like on its own.
All right, Supervisor Mac here. We're at the Shed Life, and what are you still drunk from last night? No, I'm not drunk. That was last night. All right, what we're doing, boys, is this toolbox store. Mac is this pen's bloody working, is it? First of all, we've got to understand the job. We've got to get the rooftop tent yay high.
Jeez, that's a bit complicated.
So that we can get it on top of the 300 series Land Cruiser. Said Land Cruiser is here. That is the Hawaii wheel poke on it. And we're gonna get the rooftop up here, which is approximately 2.4 meters high, so that we can lower it down to whatever the hell that height is. We're gonna utilize the hoist legs. Then we're gonna use a series of straps rated to 10,000 ton.
Probably only need straps rated to about 70 kilo, would you?
No one likes a smart ass. That's basically the job. I want everyone wearing Shed Life workwear, otherwise you're sacked, you're off the... I don't care if I'm not allowed to do that, I'm just telling you the rules. Everyone sign these swims. Here's your swims, sign them.
Time to wheel this new tent in and figure out how the install's going to go.
Okay, coming in for the win.
My delivery came a little while ago, it's been in the rain.
It's sitting down the side of the house.
Alrighty, this is the 1.2. Exactly what I had on my Navara because I absolutely love it.
Love the inclusions on these things. We've got a solar panel.
Yeah,
Holding
totally.
3 wires, power.
Ah, the old rotor of this. Love watching a plan come together.
So far so good, no one's died. The tent's in the air, she's got the 20,000 ton straps on her, and she's back to me lead building days, you know, slinging steel above me head. I used to build elevators, then wire them. I'm not just one of them sparkies that makes a mess. I'm one that makes a mess with concrete, dust and steel as well.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, stop! Nah, just kidding. Ah, I got him! Oh, look at that. Installation guide.
After it's on.
After it's on.
As per usual, a custom rooftop tent installed by TJ and Matt.
So what you're about to see might not be exactly legal. Nah, so we actually haven't checked with our Bactura. I know they prefer you use their mounting rails, and it's a shit easy to use their mounting rails. But I know everyone, including TJ and myself, love to get their tent as low as possible. So we've managed to pick up 6 bolts. We've used 10mm bolts with massive washers. Yeah, and then we've Sikaflexed up all of the holes that they utilise.
I'd say that's the main reason they don't want you doing this, is because you're kind of ruining the seal on the tent. But we've rectified that, but yeah.
So
I'm pretty sure this voids your warranty.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with it. We've got exactly what I was going for, that slim line, as low as possible look. So we're about, I think it's 7mm at the lowest point because the roof's got an arc in it. That is as low as you can get a tent basically on a 300. And we just got to wire in the lighting and the solar panel.
Yeah, well, the tent's all pre-wired to a Dutch plug mounted to the bottom of the tent. Oh, gee whiz, they're fancy. That's a little more your style, isn't it?
Ah, bloody just turned up in eventually, didn't they?
Oh, Brendan, Wheel Pros, he's a bloody gem. This was Christmas present for TJ, this one.
So yeah, same thing, but polished. And they come clear now.
They do, and we wrapped them in Nitto Trail Grapplers 35s. My personal favourite. I've run these for many, many years. What have you found? Zalia's inspecting. Oh, she's doing a safety inspection on the 60. She's not happy.
Alrighty, you might be thinking like, why the hell are you changing wheels? These are what I actually ordered right when I first built the car. They just were too hard to get. There was none in the country or something. Rang us up the other day and they're like, oh, TJ, your wheels are here. And I'm like, hell yeah. Kind of a new look too. These are like grenades, except they're not beadlocks. Although they do look like beadlocks, that's a fake rim. That does the trick, doesn't it?
Woo-hoo, that really gets the blood flowing, they say.
Built the car, they just weren't available, but they are now in the country, I'm told. So it is the KMC GRS non-beadlock.
And this is the not polished.
So these are actually silver paint and a black rim.
Love it.
Love it. Oh, probably should have had that out for the drone shot.
Ah, well, we're here now.
Well, guys, we're not finished.
No, everything is just sitting in there, so don't judge the bombshell in the back at the moment.
The aim of this episode was to have all the 12-volt finish, but we've hit a hurdle, and the hurdle is that the side panels here are
not quite as wide.
For the pre-wired whole cool setup.
Yeah.
They did in the 76.
Correct. So the 76 had that sweet EnerDrive system tucked up the side and super easy to install. They do a board, a pre-made board for caravans and things.
Yep.
Which is just slightly too big, but I think we're going to make it fit behind your drawers.
Oh, speaking of a 76, where is it? I was trying to compare it to this, but it's not even here.
76 is gone. Tom has come up and he's picked it up. He's spent a couple of nights in Noosa with the missus.
And his new 76.
And his new 76. We wanted to try and G up a trip, but unfortunately had to get back to work, and that's all right. He's on his way back to Victoria, so keep an eye out for it down in Victoria. Throw some spottos out. He's running the Shed Life 76 page now. The Hilux is finished getting coil swapped, so we've got a few more spicy bits like KMCs and some fat bar stuff going on. Shed Life club members only. You can opt out anytime. You can opt out whenever you want. You can check all your entries in the corner of the website when you log into your details.
Oh, yeah, so you can see how many chances you've got.
See how many chances you got. You log in to redeem all your discounts with all the partners.
Money
Boy, Matt, spend money, save money. But then the car has parts on it that's worth more that you've saved money on, so you're making money.
Yeah. So I didn't go a stand up. Obviously, I want to maintain as much area, usable area as possible.
Because you're gonna bang a swag in the back. You're thinking
potentially.
You're thinking Mrs. and Bub up the top, and
we're gonna see if we can all fit in the rooftop. If not, I'll be in a swag and they'll be in the rooftop. It's all a work in progress. I'm a new dad. Give me a break, guys.
Few racks and a lip up, huh? Few stacks, he might get my number. Click, click, get the dials on, baby. Put some heat on it, now she hot, ooh, baby. Screaming flip that like Stacy Dash. Daddy check my fit, got expensive on the it's to it. Who is you?
Let me know if you like the look of the 300 now. It is full touring mode, or it's getting there.
That's about it for the back. So what else you got going on with it? What do you reckon? What more could you do?
I'm considering rear bar guys, and I'm considering hoops for the front bar, which we'll have to do ourselves.
Yeah, we might get custom with that with the old tube bender.
I need to do a radio, so we're going to put a aerial and radio on.
Oh, yes,
There's a few little things,
Pilot
but
Camco and the GME. Yeah.
very close. There's actually a lot of work left in the 12 volt. We've got to wire the tent, solar,
You know any good
do
Sparkies?
the back. I know a messy one.
I'm busy that day. Yeah, it's starting to get more practical. It's good.
Yeah. It's almost ready for the Simpson Desert trip.
Now, it's ready to go back to the Simo. Now, I did mention, speaking of practicality, the 60.
Oh yeah.
I'm kind of torn on the engine now. A few people know, and I own the engine, and I kind of want to send the 60 and the LN around. You know, they're going to be like brothers, and they're gonna travel around together. And well, yours is diesel. Oh, that's a bit of a let on. And what I'm thinking of going is petrol. If it's diesel, it won't be a Toyota engine. If it's petrol, it will be. Ooh. Ah, yes, another happy Shed Life customer. Oh, TJ, TJ, camera.